One of the big misconceptions men have about dating is that if they're dating a woman and she knows that he's potentially dating other women, that she's going to feel like he's a big game player and doesn't really want her, and that she would waste her time trying to date him. And what I want you to recognize is that how men think about dating and how women think about dating oftentimes collide with each other, and like we as men get confused because our logical thinking says to us, if a woman knows that I'm potentially dating other women, then she's going to be offended by that because as far as she knows, she should be the only one that I'm seeing. And if that's not happening, she's going to feel like I'm a player and a cheater and not want to deal with me. And I try to express to you that is not actually what goes on. So I'm going to answer this question this guy wrote me in on. He wrote a comment talking about a situation whereby I did a video talking about how one of the things that you don't want to do when you first start dating women is ask for weekend dates, because Fridays and Saturdays subconsciously are reserved for when you're in a coupledom. And so if you're asking a woman out on Fridays and Saturdays when you first start dating them, what can happen is she'll take that as an indicator that you're already super serious about her, and it can kind of scare her off. So this guy's going through a situation and he's saying basically he can't do that based on the women he's trying to date, and that he doesn't want to give the impression to them that he's potentially dating more than just one woman. So we'll get into his question. As always, if you have a question you want me to answer on one of these shows, write to me at HarryWilmington@gmail.com or leave a comment down below. Also go to the website introvertdatingsuccess.com for more tips and tricks on how to attract women using your natural introverted charm. And also go there to check out my ebook, No Girls For You, the ultimate guide to losing the girl of your dreams, which will walk you through why all the things you're doing to try to get women causes you to lose them. If you get the book, it also comes with a soundtrack album that I made with my hilarious buddy Nan Juan about the pitfalls he's experienced in his dating life. So check that out at the website. Let's get into this guy's comment. So he says, I'm a realtor, so fortunately I'm able to schedule wise to make one of my first dates during the week when we can spend some time outside and actually talk. So what I expressed to you guys is that during those first few weeks of dating, you want to suggest dates Sunday through Thursday, because at the point that she starts to grow more feelings for you, she's going to want one of those Fridays or Saturdays, which is reserved for her, you only dating somebody that is like really special to you. So if you're not bringing that up, she's going to want to see some kind of progression in the relationship. And one of the things that she'll do is say, hey, I'm free this Friday, or hey, let's go out on a Saturday picnic, which is subconsciously her way of saying, I'm trying to take you away from any potential competition I may have. And so I want to see how serious you are by suggesting one of those days and hoping that we're able to do it. All right. So this is why you wait for them to suggest those days. It's a really good indicator of her growing interest. All right. He says, the problem is New England weather and with women's schedules that don't have time until a Friday or Saturday. I really do feel like that may have them feeling too confident too early when those are the initial meetup days and times. Well, here's the thing. And I hesitate to bring this up because I don't want you to ever think, A, that you're the exception to the rule, and that B, women won't bend the rules that they have allegedly for dating if you are a guy that they have high interest in, all right? So if a woman has a job where it's like, say, for example, she has a nighttime job, she's a nurse, or I don't know, a janitor, or some kind of job where she's working at night during the week, then realistically, you will not be able to ask her out on a date during the week because she's already working during that time, in which case, if Friday and Saturday are the only possible conceivable options available, then you ask her out on those days. But what typically happens is most women, whether they're lawyers, doctors, corporate, whatever, most women typically have a 9-to-5 job. So they go into work at 9 o'clock in the morning, they're off by 5 p.m. At that point, between 5 p.m. and we'll say like conservatively 10 o'clock p.m., they have 5 hours of free time. And what you need to figure out is she willing to spend any of that free time with you to go on a date? Now, you might be thinking to yourself, but Harry, that's not enough time for a date. And this is if you're that kind of guy that up to this point has been trying to do like 5 or 6 hour dates, which when you first start dating a woman, you should not be doing. You should be keeping it to a tight 60 to 90 minutes max, whether it's like a dinner, whether it's a movie, whether it's a walk in the park. The point is, it shouldn't be longer than 90 minutes for those first few dates. And then as she gets to know you, she'll be the one to start suggesting longer dates or trying to stretch out the time a lot longer, all right? So with that said, sometime between when she gets off at 5 o'clock and when she goes to bed at 10 or 11 o'clock, she's got time. And any woman that is single and has a high interest in you and is trying to actually like get her date life activated knows this. They know that they're going to have to sacrifice 1 or 2 of those days out the week to go on a dinner date or some kind of date with a guy that they're hoping to get to know. All right. So this is where, again, it's important as the guy, you are the one that is setting this up. So you can't just be at the beck and call of what she wants in terms of scheduling. Like, again, the caveat is that, again, if she absolutely cannot do a date Monday through Friday during the weeknight because she has work, then fine, you acquiesce to Friday and Saturday. But don't let women trick you into thinking they can't do a nighttime date because, oh, I got to go to work in the morning. Because if you're a guy that she has high interest in and sees herself potentially having a future with, she will be able to make time. And here's the other thing too, is that if nothing else, women got to eat. They get off work at 5 o'clock, sometime between 5 o'clock and 10 p.m., they got to eat. So if you're calling her up and suggesting a dinner date at like 7 o'clock and her response is, oh, I can't make it. I got a lot of work to do tomorrow. I got news for you. She's not interested because even if that's true, she got to eat. She can't meet you at 7 o'clock p.m. to eat for an hour's worth of time to get to know you and also get a free meal. If she's turning down a free meal because, oh, I got to go to bed, she's not interested. Because I've been able to date women that have sacrificed time or said stuff like, hey, I got a really busy day tomorrow, but I got like 45 minutes to see you, and we're able to make it work, all right? Especially women, let's be real. Women also like get horny and want to hook up at some point. So you're telling me that a woman that is single, that has been without for a long time, is meeting you, and you're supposed to be the alleged love of her life, and she's not going to try to find time to be able to hook up with you at any time whatsoever during the week because, oh, it's a weekday, I can't do it. It's not a real thing. So that's an excuse that we as guys make or allow the woman to make to us because we don't want to believe that she just doesn't have high interest. But women that have high interest will move mountains and find time. They will find any time in the day they can possibly make to be able to see you during a weekday. If she's not, it's because she's not highly interested, bottom line. So then he says, not really sure how to change that up without prolonging initial meetup and coming across like I am dealing with too many women that they don't want to be bothered. And then in parentheses, he says, I'm 40, so myself and those I'm interested in dating tend to be much more intentional and are dating with a purpose. It's definitely a different vibe than when younger. And to all of that, I say, well, ultimately bogus, but I'll say to the first part where he's talking about women coming across like that he doesn't want to come across with women that he's dealing with too many women. I don't know if you've watched any videos on the internet or if you've, interviewed any women friends of yours, but women are more than willing to be in competition with the guy that they're interested in. And so if you're a guy that has taken a woman's interest and she just happens to find out you're dating other women, well, the reality is during the dating phase, that's actually expected. Like women might not on the surface not like it, but subconsciously they understand that if you're a guy that is highly sought after, that she has to be able to show her worth to you before you decide to be in a relationship. So yeah, during the dating phase, it's totally fine. Relationship phase, that's a different story. You're not trying to be in a relationship with her and like 5 other people. And I think that's where guys get mixed up is we catch feelings early. So after like date 2 or 3, if we see good qualities in this woman, we're already like, I'm already ready to pick her. And now it feels awkward trying to date other women because it'll feel like I'm cheating on this woman, even though we don't actually have a relationship yet, okay? But to that end, what are the most popular shows on TV? Like The Bachelor is still surprisingly popular after all these years. And that whole show is 30 women, 1 guy. And each week they have to prove to this guy why it is that he should choose her over the other girls in the house. And I just watched, I watched last week's episode last week. And there's literally like a scene where like this guy is kissing this one girl and these other girls over here see it. And then one of the girls in the confessional is like, oh man, I want him to kiss me like that. At no point was she like, oh, that guy's such a slime ball, he's kissing these other girls. She was like, I want to be able to do that. Why can't he pick me to kiss? And that's kind of the reality of how this whole thing works. Like, women want men that other women want. And so you're actually doing a disservice if you're giving her the impression that no other women want you. Now, this isn't to say you have to explicitly flaunt it in her face or say, hey, this date was great, but I got a date tomorrow, so I can't see you. Like, nothing like that. But you should be walking with the kind of air and confidence that indicates to women that you're the kind of guy that just knows he can get women. If you don't have that ability, this is why I have the Introvert Dating Success Membership Academy, where you can learn how to build up that confidence. You can also sign up for one-on-one coaching, and I'll help you through with that. But the point is that you walking around with this confidence that gives women the impression that you can get other women is actually very, very beneficial to your dating life, all right? Now, the other thing too, he says, because he's 40 and those he's interested in are tend to be much more intentional, that does not take away from the fact that women still aren't gonna be mad at you if you're trying to date other people while you're dating her, because most women won't tell you, but while they're dating you, they're probably dating other guys to see which of you guys are gonna be the one that she ultimately wants to end up with. And that doesn't just happen by going on a couple of dates with you and saying, yep, he's the guy. Usually, she's gonna go on a couple of dates with you and Bob and Jim over here, and in the course of dating both all you guys, in the course of like 3 or 4 dates, she's gonna start to see, oh, you have better qualities than Bob does, or Bob texted me 17,000 times last week, and you over here were patient and only texted for dates, and that's more appealing. So therefore, I'm gonna go for this guy. But she has to have people to compare that to. So even women that are dating with intention are probably still dating multiple guys to start with. And you can go on TikTok right now. There are a bunch of women on TikTok that are like in their late 30s to early 40s, single, and every week it's like, hey, so I got a date with Pillow Guy this week. I got a date with Microphone Guy this week. I got a date with Starlight Guy this week. And it's not that she doesn't want to get with any of those guys, just these are all first, second, third dates. I tell you guys, women take 2 to 3 months to solidify their feelings. And part of that is doing their due diligence. They need that time to be able to determine which of these guys she is dating ultimately fits what she's looking for. And these are women that are dating intentionally, all right? But they're intentionally going out with multiple guys to be able to narrow it down to the one that she wants. So don't think that because you're dating her and you've had 2 good dates that you now need to choose her. 2 dates is not enough time to realistically have decided on whether or not this woman is going to fit your lifestyle in the long run. And I think too many guys make that decision really quickly because she looks physically attractive, but they don't actually spend enough time to really see mentally where she is, what her family's like, if they really have strong likes and dislikes or believe the same things or not or whatever. And you need to give yourself time to do that with her and with other women to really get a lay of the land and see who's going to ultimately be the one that fits your lifestyle. All right. So don't think that it's bad if you are trying to set weekday dates and if you're trying to date multiple people, because regardless of, the other thing I want to mention to you real quick is that the whole dating with intentions thing, you can have a woman that is in her mid to late 20s that is all about, hey, I'm just trying to get this right one time. So I'm just trying to make sure that I date. I'm not giving away my body to every single guy that I come into contact with, but I want to really date with the idea of ultimately, whether they want to get married or have a long-term partner or whatever, okay? But you can have women in their 20s that are doing that, because I'll tell you now, I'm in my 40s and I definitely know women that are of this age that are like, I just want to date for fun and I don't need a serious thing, blah, blah, blah. They're not dating intentionally at all. They're just dating to like get the rocks off every so often, have a free meal, and be able to brag to their girlfriends about it. So it doesn't really matter the age. Ideally, as women get older, they know more about what they want, and and plus they're running out of time because of the whole, eggs starting to drop in count, and being able to, if they're trying to get pregnant, they got to do that sooner than later. So it becomes more intentional if they're going in that lane. But there's plenty of women out there that also aren't trying to have kids, at which point they could just be free balling it forever and not ever really get super serious, all right? But the point is that you can have women that are younger that still have that intention, okay? So don't just base it solely on age, because like I said, there are plenty of women that are around my age that don't have a serious partner yet and are just kind of like, I mean, if it happens, whatever. And I wish they were dating with intention, but unfortunately they're not. Meanwhile, I've dated women that were in their 20s when I was in my 30s that were like, no, I'm really seriously trying to date to find that one person, all right? So just keep that in mind, because if you're an older guy especially, you can expand your range. Like if you're 40, your range starts at like 18, 19, 20. I know women don't want to hear that, but it's legal. Realistically, like it was that way for a long time before people started getting mad about it. But the point is, you have a range from like 18 to 19 all the way up to like 55, 60. you know? So take advantage of that range and really explore and see what's gonna be the best option for you in the long run. Hopefully, God, that helps you out. For the rest of you, be sure to go to the website, introvertdatingsuccess.com. Check out the various ebooks, audiobooks that we have. Check out my book, No Girls For You, The Ultimate Guide to Losing the Girl of Your Dreams. It's a 156-page book that gives you the ins and outs of why the things you're trying to do right now to date women cause you to lose them. And it comes with a hilarious soundtrack, the No Girls For You soundtrack. All songs done by my puppet character, Nan Juan, talking about the ins and outs of his dating life. And it's sure to give you a great laugh as you learn what not to do. So check that all out at the website. For now, be sure to subscribe to this channel and like this video, and I will catch you all on the next one. I'm out. Peace.
When I see a hot girl, my tongue gets twirled.